interview going on. Big booty hole. You feel me? They be like, I go hard in them. What kind
Everybody's in her like,
what kind of business they got?
There's been a large controversy over whether to be an entrepreneur or to be an employee. Today on Gofech, we are going to talk about why it's so important to be an entrepreneur now and why it's really flourishing. Could you tell me a little bit about your business?
Well, my name is Brian Barber, and my business is Mr.NewSchool Educational Media. And at Mr.NewSchool, we provide students the opportunity to use arts and cultural relevance to learn. So I really want to tie in the students' interests. I really want to, tie in the students' culture, and I want to give the opportunity, give the students the opportunity to express themselves through all forms of arts. So I use arts as a resource for any academic lesson that we're trying to use. So I produce the materials. So that's what it is. We're producing materials. We're producing products. We're producing resources for students, parents, and teachers. Mr.NewSchool Educational Media.
Okay. And Quan, can you tell me about your business?
And yes, my name is Naquan Willett. I'm the founder of Tasteblock, and we're serving currently West Indian and soul food, and we give customers the chances to schedule when they want our meals delivered to a specific location at a specific time, and this basically knocks out the time that they spend in long lunch lines and driving through traffic. So we're changing the way people acquire flavorful and fulfilling food.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself. We know that you're a Bowie State student.
Okay, so I'm a Bowie. Yo, yeah, go Boo.
Okay. My infatuation is translating to another form of what you call it. Oh yeah. I ain't met you. I've been looking so.
Yes, I'm a Bowie State senior. I'm planning on graduating May 2019 in business management. I've always been an entrepreneur. My mom has always taught me to have like a business idea in mind, so I always like been working to flourish that.
Okay, and Brian, you said you kind of evolved into being an entrepreneur and you started out as an employee, so tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I'm also Bowie State. I graduated from Bowie State years back with an elementary education major. I went on to teach, and I taught at an elementary school in Prince George's County, Maryland for a number of years. And throughout that process, it was very gratifying, and I'm not going to speak against being an employee, because a lot of times people do go find a job that they want and that's their goal, and so it's good. It's pros and cons on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
But it just depends on the person and where they are in life, and what is your goal? And some goals are more fulfilled or better fulfilled as an entrepreneur, and some goals are better fulfilled, as an employee. But me, I taught for a number of years. I got my master's in curriculum and instruction, and while I did my master's, I created a curriculum, an arts integrated curriculum. And it's based in cultural relevance, and it's Mr.NewSchool. So I created this while I was doing my master's program at Trinity University in Washington, D.C. And so I created the curriculum, so I had the ideal, but I didn't have the product.
Okay.
So I went back to school, Bowie State, once again, to do a media production program. It's called Visual Communications, Digital Media Arts, VCDMA. But it basically teaches you animation, illustration, and so I know how to create books. I know how to create posters. I know how to create videos for students to learn, and for teachers, to help parents, to help students. So with that, I said, okay, I have a product, I have a concept, I have a goal. Entrepreneurship at this point will suit my needs better than being a teacher.
Okay.
So that's how it evolved for me.
You touched literally right on it, because I wanted to understand, why is it flourishing? Everyone's basically being an entrepreneur. When you went to school, when you were younger, it was told you go college, get a job, go work in the forest.
That's fake news.
Now it's like you go to college and you work for yourself.
Yes.
Can you speak a little bit on that?
I would, yeah, I think that's a great point. I think people are basically tired of like hearing regulations, especially right now. Millennials are the majority in the workforce right now. So I think a lot of us grew up with our parents telling us, oh, you can be what you want, you can do what you want, and we see a lot more millionaires coming, especially in our community as well. So it's like basically people going into the workforce, they're being told what to do, they're being like ridiculed for coming in just 10 minutes late when they're dealing with their own problems at home. So I think that people are now saying, you know what, I can do this on my own. I have the skills, the knowledge to pursue what I want and do what I want, so why not just go ahead and do it, take a shot at it.
That's very true. That's very true. You come from an entirely different path, like being a student
Right.
and having someone help you and like kind of support your journey. So how do you deal with balancing those two? Because I mean, everyone comes through different journeys for being a business person. You don't just
Yeah.
wake up and say, "Oh, I'm a business person." It's a
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. So it is hard juggling both of them, and that's why I do to get to Brian's point. He has said it's not for everybody. And sometimes it needs to gradually come on because it's not the right time. Sometimes it's hard sometimes to juggle it. Sometimes your mom's telling you, oh, you're old enough to pay bills, you have to pay bills, and you're a student at the same time. So it's like, how can I put all that dedication? Starting a business is extremely hard. It takes time. It takes dedication. It takes failing and waking back up and doing it again. So to be in school, having to be at your job from 9 to 5, it's hard to kind of balance it. With me, I would say like I always had the blessing of having a great support system from my family. Yes, it's extremely important. They supported my vision. They supported my ideas once I stayed in school and kept with my school and my books. So that's how I actually got into it. I worked a bunch of jobs. I was serving. I was a assistant manager at Foresight and Apartments, basically property management, like doing that. But I just didn't like it. It was like too much regulations. I had my own vision. It was like I was focused on one particular job that I wasn't interested in doing. It just wasn't for me. So.
Okay, so how did you transition into becoming a business owner? Did you just wake up and say, hey, here we are? What's the process?
No, okay, so I, before I had Tasteblock, I actually had a business prior called Campus Cruiser. It was basically like an Uber for college kids. Only college kids could utilize the service. It was me and my friend Richie. We were holding it out. We were driving, and I was like, "This is doing too good. I don't know if it's something I'm doing, whatever." So I kind of just gave up on it, which I shouldn't have did, but I did at the time. And I came across a course on Udemy teaching me about basically what we learned in the entrepreneurship program, the business models and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is the proper way to start up a business. Research the customers, ask them what their current needs are. Don't try to sell them something right from the jump. So once I understood that and I started executing and I joined the program, like it was just like, yeah, this is it right here. This is what I'm gonna do. So that's how it was nothing, no other question.
Okay, and so this is the really, really important thing because not too many people know how to build up the funding for starting a business. So how did you build up the funding?
Well, my funding is right now I'm on family and friends.
I hear that.
So that's my first level of just acquiring funding, and I was a teacher. So over the years of me being this, I had stacked up a nice a nice amount of money, a nice amount of funds to really to maintain my lifestyle as well as start my business. So right now I'm gonna I'm looking for venture capitalists and so on and so forth, but I'm using my own funds that I built while I was an employee, and my family, my mother, my wife, we all are a part of this business. So really the biggest part I feel is making sure that you understand your vision and you have a team around you, that support system that Quan was talking about earlier. And you need that solid support system. So that allowed me to be able to take that jump and take that leap. So it's really just being in the right position in life and understanding who I can pull resources from. It's really being able to figure out where are those resources that I have and how can I get more.
Right. And Quan, you said that your process was a little different when it came to finding money. Like you said, you did before you even got to the subscription. You tried to do trucking. You tried to find all these resources. Speak a little on that.
Yeah. So food service is like a real regulated industry. It's really tough to start up. It's a lot of barriers when you're trying to execute. So starting out, it was a bunch of ways. We wanted to be a fast casual restaurant like a Chipotle, Qdoba, and then it was like, wow, the startup for that is too much and we don't really know what we're going to do. So then it was like, okay, food trucks are popular, it must be low cost. So I then went to food trucks, and it was like by the time you add up buying the food truck, renovating it, it was $100,000.
Wow.
And if you wanted one that was already fit to regulations, new, it was $100,000. So it was like, you can't beat the startup cost. So it was like, okay, let's go out here and literally talk to the customer. I literally went and talked to customers, asking them questions like, what are some challenges you face when you have the money to purchase food, but you can't purchase food? And understanding what are some real challenges that these people are facing that they will make them say, okay, this service is curing their need, I'll pay for it. And also costing us less overhead. So then I came up with the subscription service. Basically, have a kitchen spot. You have third-party delivery services helping you deliver. That takes off the overhead for delivery drivers. The kitchen space takes off the spot for basically a brick and mortar, and sometimes a food truck. The subscription service really takes the spot of the food truck because we get out there, talk to customers, and that's reoccurring sales is what they call it. So we already could say, okay, we have this many customers, they already paid their fees, we have $150,000 for the month. And that's just the perfect way to do business, kind of like an insurance.
That sounds good. So thank you very much for coming, having a conversation with us. If you all have comments, please provide them below. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Brian Barber, the founder and creator of Mr.NewSchool Educational Media, the educational animated character that your child will love. www.mrnewschool.com is where you'll find us, and we're here to help your children with arts integrated, cultural relevant, educational media to help them improve those grades.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Naquan Willett. I'm the founder and chief executive of Tasteblock, an on-demand delivery service that allows customers to schedule when they want our meals delivered to a specific location at a specific time. Our Instagram is at TasteblockDC, Twitter is at Tasteblock, and our Facebook page is also at Tasteblock. Follow us. Keep updated. We're doing pop-ups all over Prince George County, Maryland, and basically we want to start signing you guys up for subscription services and taking away the need of waiting in long lunch lines and driving through traffic just to get flavorful and fulfilling meals that you love.
And I'm chilling with Gofech.
Hello, I'm your host, Destiny Jones, and this is Gofech.